Let's welcome in Fox Sports NFL insider Jordan Schultz. Welcome, Jordan.
What up, Jordy?
Jordy, 40-year-old version up in here. Steve Carell.
Paul is cooking
That's my
Jordan's
man.
look
That's
today.
my man.
Ben Affleck, Vince Vaughn.
Look, that's that look. What's that
Vince
look?
Vaughn. Keyshawn, I'm going to start with you.
Yes, please. Calm this noise down a little
Back
bit.
to Travis Kelce, get very serious. Is Travis Kelce still an elite weapon?
Yeah, absolutely. He's elite. We just saw him a game or two ago when we start talking about early season problems, and then all of a sudden they start feeding him. When Rashee Rice gets hurt, he comes out and has his best game of this year. Mm-hmm. He's certainly a weapon, but the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, certainly knows how to get everybody involved so that you're not just focused in and pinned down on one guy. And I think that is what people kind of forget. Now, think about it. The Chiefs aren't scoring a lot of touchdowns in general. Yeah. They only got 11 offensive TDs all season and only 6 in the air. So if you only got 6 in the air and 2 of them going over here and Worthy picking up a couple and, like, it ain't none left. So in the end, he's still a weapon. I bet you if you put him out on the trade market, how many people you think going to line up for him?
No, he's definitely still a weapon, and he's a very smart player. He's very much a part of their culture. He's a part of what they do at a very high level. And we watched this a little bit last season, because last season he didn't have
big numbers
that we
on.
expected. Yeah. But then in the postseason, we saw he was extremely valuable. Now he has had his lowest amount of targets since 2014, lowest amount of receptions since 2014, and he has no receiving touchdowns through the first 5 games. That's the lowest through the first 5 games that he has had. So he isn't putting up the numbers we're used to seeing Travis Kelce put up. But they're winning, and he is a part of what they do. And again, being an elite player to me is not just about numbers. What kind of a threat do you present on the field? How much are you a part of the offense and drawing attention from other players and defenders and being an option for Patrick Mahomes when no one expects you to? And that's important as well.
He's what we call a red dot guy.
Yeah.
You got the red dot on him in the film room, and the coaches are sitting there saying, whatever you do, don't let him beat us. Yeah. I don't care about all them other dudes. He better not beat us.
We'll accept everyone else beating us.
Oh,
do you still think he's an elite weapon?
Well, you know what? This reminds me when I got older and I wasn't putting up the same numbers.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm not going to put up the same. When I went to the Wizards, I was like, you know what? I know I'm a little older now. I can't do what I used to do, but I was still an elite threat. I was a red dot guy, like he said. When you go in the film room, no, I'm not going to put up the big yards or the big buckets. But you know what? Down the stretch, I was doing stuff like this when they needed it. Calling game. As
he didn't call bank. He called game.
Bank right here.
Look at that.
It's not there. He's not going to be there when you need him.
Was such an off
but he
shot,
was on time. No, I lined that up.
No,
I lined that up. I had to shoot it over his hand. I had to shoot it a little higher over the hand. See, I'll show you a thing or two. We're going to have to go back to my highlights off air.
No, you did good.
But look. So as you get older, you don't have the same usage, but you're there when they need you. And that's what Travis is all about.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce, he's like a classic. You bring him out when you need him. He's not going to get you maybe the 100 catches, 90 catches, 1,200 yards anymore. But when it matters, when you really need to impress a date, you bring out the classic. In the playoffs, Travis Kelce, he's the classic.
He got that good cologne.
He's got that great cologne. He's got that swag now. He's got that. What do the kids say? He's got that drip.
He got that drip.
And he got the Riz. And he knows, as does Patrick Mahomes, when the chips are on the table, Travis Kelce's going to get you 8 catches for 90 yards and a tutty or 2 in the playoffs. That's what they care about. This team's not trying to, win the regular season. This team is trying to do what no team has ever done. Back to back to back. And if they're going to do it, it's going to be because Travis Kelce shows up like he always does when it matters most.
Don't use drip again, please.
Come on.
It didn't sound right coming out.
It
just didn't sound right coming out of Jordan. It just didn't sound right.
I got that Vince Vaughn drip and Wedding Crashers. When he shows up in at the house.
That is a classic. That's what
I'm a classic.
But Trav is on point with you guys are on point with everything about Travis, right? He's still an elite weapon. And their offense in general, though, is methodical. Mm-hmm. It's not a quick strike offense like it once was before. 3 years, 4 years ago with Tyreek Hill involved. They've always, all of a sudden, since then, been methodical. Take the poison, get down the field, and then when they get into the red zone, try and create some sort of trickery along those lines.
True.
And that's okay. I think what we tend to do is we start looking at the numbers kind of disappear a little bit, so the first thing we say is, oh, he's getting older, he's a little slower now.
Mm-hmm. Well, he is.
Yes,
All
that's
those
true.
things are true.
But with age, that's going to happen.
Right.
But we make it sound as though he can't play anymore.
No,
just the fact that we're asking the question, is he still an elite weapon, when we know he might only need to be elite for 2 or 3 games.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
If they're going to be the 1 seed, they only need him for a few weeks. And Patrick Mahomes is going to he's going to force feed him because he's going to you know how we talk about Tay and Aaron? There's that trust, that unspoken bond. That's what's going to happen with Travis Kelce in the playoffs.
And those
he's
other guys,
still blocking. You tell me.
Yeah,
he's still
cool.
blocking.
Still
exactly
getting
what
away.
happened last year.
He's a getting away guy.
You know what's crazy? He's the same age as Gronk, 33. He's the same age as Gronk. That's crazy.
But Gronk took
Is
a
he? I thought he was
different beating.
35.
Same age.
But Gronk took a different beating.
I'm just saying, that's how long Travis has been doing
Yeah.
it. And to your point, we're still talking about it because he still matters that much.
Yeah.
And you got to think, too, Joy, those other receivers are going to continue to get better, which then opens up. Now the Kareem Hunt in the backfield, they inserted him instead of Pacheco into the lineup. That's going to open up a lot of things. So not only did you have to worry about Rashee Rice, who's no longer there, now you got to start concentrating on Worthy. You got to start concentrating on
Juju
Kareem
had
Hunt.
150.
You got to concentrate on Juju.
You just had 150.
Now you're going to open
Yeah.
everything else up for Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Worthy.
Let's talk about the Chiefs' opponent in America's Game of the Week, the 49ers. Brock Purdy was asked about how he compares to Patrick Mahomes. Is this like a thing? It's got to be an athlete thing, right?
What?
Like everybody's an individual. Like I don't compare myself to Patrick Mahomes. Like I am who
he's
I
just
am.
trying to be humble on the mic. But I'm looking
That
at
didn't
him.
sound
I'm
humble
looking
to
at
me,
him.
though. That certainly didn't sound humble to me.
And listen,
No, that was-
I
that
told
was
you,
easy.
I don't believe
Sound
in
like he
humble.
arrived.
But
He has.
I am who I am is not.
It sound like he arrived
Well,
to
he
me.
ain't got paid
And being
yet.
compared.
He ain't got
True.
paid
He
yet.
hasn't. And he's really not gotten paid
Wait till
because
he
he was
get
the last
paid,
pick.
then maybe you're going to hear a little bit something more.
Well, who would-
Yeah, but he hasn't gotten the money in the bank yet.
Yeah. He
got
was
pre-approved for that loan.
4 months away from
He
touching
is
that
pre-approved.
BG.
He's pre-approved.
Yeah,
He's pre-approved. He doesn't need a cosign. Who did you compare him to, though? Since he says he doesn't compare himself to Mahomes.
It's hard to compare him, but, like, man, it's because he ain't created no aura for himself yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at the press conference, and I'm like, oh, that's Purdy. Oh, okay. Like, if he walked down the street,
was like an
I'll
insurance
probably
agent.
just,
It
I'll
was
walk
like-
right past him.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what I'm saying?
Would you walk right past a lot of players, though?
Not at his level.
Not a quarterback.
Not a
No, you would.
quarterback. Like him, I'll
you
probably.
would.
Yeah, no, like I wouldn't walk past Stafford or
I don't think quarterback. I think
You've
quarterbacks.
been watching Stafford, though, for 30 years.
he just got that all-American, just walk right past you, walking down the street.
He's an Iowa State
You know what I'm
cornbread guy.
saying? Like if I had to compare him to anybody right now of today's game, I think he had Key compared him to Mahomes. He put the numbers up the last 4 years. I mean, damn.
How do you arrive?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, golf maybe, because golf been to the Super Bowl. He's been to the Super Bowl and championship games. I mean, that's
Paul
the
literally
only guy.
almost made me really curse on air.
I mean, you're the
never
one who put his
compared
numbers
him.
up. You
You
put his
decide
numbers
the A
up
and-
side by side by Mahomes.
Yes,
What's that
since
mean?
2022, 14 games in, the numbers are the same, identical, right down the line. Literally,
I mean,
there they are in front of your
could have
face.
compared.
But that doesn't mean that he's comparing the style of play.
I'm glad you are protecting me in this situation,
Right.
George.
Well, I
'cause
got
that's
you,
not what I
got
said.
you. I got you as my teammate.
Yeah.
You did ask for this, but
I didn't ask for anything.
You
son.
asked for it in the pre-production meeting.
If 20 and 20,
Graphics
20 and
hasn't made
7 and
this
20 and
at
6,
your
is that
request.
not comparable?
Numbers. I think we're talking about style and aura.
But I
feel.
never said they had the same style.
who'd you compare him to, Keyshawn? Obviously not Mahomes.
I know
right
who I
now-
am. I'm sitting on it.
Right now,
Tom
if I
Brady.
had to,
Tom Brady.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
if I had to right now compare it to an NFL quarterback that's currently playing,
Yes.
it would probably be most likely Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know,
That's solid.
just from a solid standpoint.
Yeah.
He's winning. He seems to do everything that Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions are asking him, just like Brock Purdy's doing everything that Kyle Shanahan is asking. It's so funny. I got off the show yesterday, and I got a call from the San Francisco 49er. And it was pretty funny because they were really making fun of you guys about the Brock Purdy stuff.
Me too.
I don't know. No, it was more about Paul and Joy. And they were just talking about, now they want to try to act like Brock Purdy is that, whatever. But,
I've been saying this about Brock, though, haven't I? I've been giving Brock his pop. I don't think he get his necessary due.
Okay,
Look,
sorry, I wasn't sold on the last pick in the draft, day one.
No, I understand.
I needed a little time to let it bake.
Me too. In his first start, I had to roll. I needed 17 games. I needed a full season, even though he started later in the year.
Not to mention he was injured in the playoffs and had to rehab and come back.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give it a little time to see what he looked like.
But when you think about it, he is.
We gotta be zealots now.
He's a better athlete.
Zombie.
He's a better athlete than Jared Goff to me. He moves around in the pocket a lot better. Gets out of harm's way a lot better than Jared Goff. He's been to the Super Bowl. Goff's been to the Super Bowl. He's been in NFC Championship games. Goff's been in NFC Championship
I like
games.
Goff because I like Goff comp also because I don't think people really give Goff the credit he deserves either.
Neither one has a ridiculous strong arm. They both have to anticipate their throws. Yeah, that would be my comp.
How about Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, third-round pick, undersized, kind of discounted his whole career. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. If either one of those guys, Russ at the time in Seattle or Purdy now, were first-rounders, we'd be talking about them like they were top 5, top 10 guys. Purdy has earned that. He's mobile. He gets out of trouble. He doesn't make mistakes. Teammates really respect his game, his confidence, He has swag in his own way. Like you talked about aura, it's an insurance aura. He's insurance man. Like, but there's something to be said about that.
Cliff Paul.
And all he's got that Cliff Paul to him.
Everybody does need insurance.
He's got that. Everybody needs insurance. And I've talked to guys on that team the last couple years, not just now, and they have said since day one, since Brock became the guy, he has been the guy. There's
they've always been
amount of confidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be the highest paid quarterback in football, I believe, next year.
No, he won't.
He'll be right around Dak, though, okay?
No, it'll be less. You know why? Because he'll do a hometown. Good old. I'll do it for the hometown.
But even more. Okay, so what Brock Purdy is Russell Wilson 2.0. Brock Purdy has a lot of Russ vibes to him, and for the Niners, that's a great thing.
See, even Russ at Russ's height, and I'm talking about when they were making runs to the Super Bowl, it was such a defensive-oriented team and a hard-nosed running team that they would even run the football on 3rd and 1,000,000, as opposed to letting Russ try to pick up the first down with his arm. They'd run the ball. 3rd and 12, they run, and they wouldn't have him drop back. Yeah. Brock Purdy, on the other hand, is Kyle Shanahan trust him pushing the football down the field. They didn't do that much with Russ.
Russ has always had a great deep ball. I think Russ's arm.
He's always thrown a great deep ball.
Russ's arm probably a little stronger than Brock's, but Brock's arm is certainly good enough, capable enough. Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Unlimited.
I see the comp.
Mr. Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Right?
I see the comp.
Please
I see
don't
what you're
say that
saying.
again.
What did he get in? He got swag, drip, Riz, aura, Mr. Unlimited.
And what was the one in Denver?
Denver was just.
Denver was a debacle.
He got Sean Payton.
Yeah, Bronco Nation, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Oh, God.
Let's not ride.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.